Recording in progress. All right. Welcome. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining. If you're catching the replay or with us live, fresh out of bed, eating your toast, it's an honor to have you with us as we dive into the realm of making that money. For those new to the community, Intention Inspired is all about supporting ourselves and one another to discover our deepest intentions and to nurture those desires into powerful actions. So this is the second installment of our money workshop. The first one, we explored the motivating reasons of why we want more money and wealth. And we did that by just tapping into our deepest sense of self to understand what is at the heart of our connection to wealth and money. We rewired some limiting beliefs. We explored how money is just a tool, an extension of ourselves, and by no means the source of happiness, but it can be used to nurture those deeper heartfelt intentions. I recall some of those being freedom, security, impact, creation, growth, learning, leaving a legacy. These are all such inspiring money intentions. So my intention with this whole 30 days of money journey and with this call today is to just do my best to help us achieve those intentions, that financial freedom. So last time we explored the why. Today we're going to explore the how. How to get that cash money, dinero, into the bank account. Practical, actionable steps toward financial freedom, which did seem to me like a bit of an undertaking, but as I kind of dove in and reflected on my own journey, I just realized how simple it actually is, believe it or not. And I'm financially free. So when I reflect on my journey of money, it's really sweet to see its simplicity in hindsight. Much like climbing a mountain, you look at the mountain, you're like, what, how do I get to the top? But generally there's like you just follow the path and you get to the top every time, so when I reflect on the financial advisors that I admire and look to for advice, what's great is they all pretty much say the same stuff, just through their own lens, like I'm doing now. So we've got Dave Ramsey. He's got his 7 baby steps laid out in his 9-week Financial Peace University course, which I've completed twice. We've got Tony Robbins. He's got his 7 steps to financial freedom. We've got J.L. Collins. He's got the Simple Path to Wealth. And as I've just been reviewing and distilling all of these financial models, I've come up with what I've liked to refer to as the 5 stages of financial liberation, which is a linear progression, much like the hero's journey, that we all have to go through if we want to earn our financial sovereignty. So the 5 stages are dependence, survival, stability, security, and freedom. And before we just break these down, I'd just like to say that the better I can get a sense of where everyone is at on your financial journey, the better that we can steer the conversation in ways that are most beneficial to us. I want us all to walk away from this call inspired and equipped with something that we can implement today just to move us closer towards that financial freedom. And I know money is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, so please forgive me for the inevitable ignorance that comes with my limited perspective of just being human. And that said, let's remember Marva's invitation from our last money call to just give ourselves radical self-compassion as we're analyzing ourselves on the hot topic of money. No critical judgments necessary, just curiosity, acceptance, understanding, so that we can just see ourselves better and have more clarity into how we want to move forward. So feel free to use the chat, feel free to chime in anytime, use your body language if your microphone isn't working. You can use sound effects, dance moves. However the spirit moves you, it is welcome here. Okay, so growing up, my parents lived month to month, paycheck to paycheck. So if I wanted anything, I had to buy it and I had to figure out how to pay for it. And I'm proud to say that in this moment, I am financially free. I've gone from living in my car. I've slept in an airport for 3 days because I had like $3 in my bank account and I had to like wait for a check to get through so that I could like get out of Singapore. I've scraped by in my younger years, and I've really buckled down and focused on money, and I've gotten to points where I've had more money than I know what to do with. So through this process, I've just had the opportunity to taste wealth and what it can offer. And as I've learned more, I've just discovered that money in and of itself does not make me more happy, but in the ways that I interact with money, it has given me something much more valuable, in my opinion, than financial freedom. And it is those intentions that we explored together. It's that time freedom, that experiential freedom. So I'm mentioning this because I want it for everyone. This is the motivating reason for me to focus on this so that I can preserve this wealth and provide paths for other people, because I know we can all relate. Financial stress is no fun. We've all been there. And the gift of this money stress, much like all stress, is the motivation to be free from that stress so that we can get back to feeling good. So I'm excited to share the habits and tools that have freed me from my money stress. And as we move through the 5 stages of financial liberation, the invitation here is to just bring awareness to where you might be on this journey so that we can just get clarity into where we're at and how to move forward. So in summary, stage 1, dependence. We're relying on others to take care of us financially. Stage 2, survival. And we'll break each one of these down into more detail. Stage 2, survival. We are starting to earn our income. Stage 3 is stability. This is where we're sticking to a budget and we're getting out of debt. Stage 4 is security. We have money saved and we're starting to invest. And stage 5 is freedom. This is where we have saved and invested enough to support our desired lifestyle without relying on regular employment. Okay, so the biggest influential factor on what financial stage that we're in is our emotional and behavioral patterns. This is science, and it's often overlooked. The amount of income that we make, and probably more importantly, how we manage the money that we make, is determined by our interpersonal relationship with money and our emotional and behavioral patterns connected with money. So I thought it'd be fun and perhaps most helpful to explore what behavioral patterns are associated with each stage and follow that up with actionable steps that we can take to grow to the next stage towards financial freedom. Are you guys on board with this? All right. Sweet. Doing it. All right, buckle in, focus up. We're going to dive into the most simplified and effective path that I've learned to implement and become financially free. Okay, stage 1, dependence. This stage marks the beginning of everyone's financial journey. In the same way that we depend on our caretakers to keep us alive when we're born into this world, financial dependence is characterized by a reliance on others for financial support. Again, nothing wrong with any of these stages. It's just natural progression. The financial behaviors of being dependent include not earning an income, always borrowing, not having a financial strategy in place. About a quarter of the world is in the dependent stage. The actionable steps to move beyond depending on others for our financial well-being is start with deciding. We just decide that we want to become a financially sovereign being who can take care of ourselves and not rely on others. So we start looking for ways to create and share something of value that others will pay us for. And the most valuable and easiest thing to give most often is our time. And so that's where many of us start. But there are many other ways to make an income other than trading our hours for dollars to create that income. So we're really just getting curious about money here. We're just developing our financial literacy. This is just understanding how the money economy works and how to just be in right relationship with money, which naturally moves us into stage 2, which is survival. In the survival stage, we're beginning to cover our basic expenses, but often just barely. This is like we don't really have savings saved up. We're just surviving those financial, inevitable, unexpected things will really stress us out. Since we're no longer depending on someone else to take care of us, we have to figure out how to pay for what we want, as well as all those unexpected expenses. So the financial behaviors and patterns associated with this survival stage is kind of like sporadic overspending, like reactionary financial spending rather than like planning for these purchases. We often are just kind of always barely squeaking by. And most of the population is in this survival stage, just living paycheck to paycheck. And the action steps to move out of survival mode and into financial stability is to begin tracking our money. So we get serious about creating a plan for how our money flows, so we can ensure that we're not spending more than we're making. We begin reducing non-essential spending and really getting serious about what that looks like. Like, let's eat some beans and rice, and like maybe not eat out as much, and really prioritize getting out of debt, because it's hard to save and be financially free when we're in debt. So I'm just going to repeat that because most people, again, are just barely surviving financially, and these simple steps to begin thriving includes tracking our money. We're not spending more than we're making. We're reducing non-essential spending, and we're getting out of debt. I love this quote by Thomas Edison that says, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." So when we put on our overalls and commit to adopting these healthier financial habits, we naturally move into stage 3, stability. When we're financially stable, we start building a financial cushion. This is a rainy day fund, so that when those financial disasters happen, because they will happen, tires blow out, appliances break down, health issues happen, but it's okay. We're not stressing as much because we have some money saved up and we're prepared to handle those financial curveballs and can avoid getting into further debt. So the financial behaviors of a financially stable person include less reactive spending, sticking to our budget, not spontaneously buying stuff. I think it's Dave Ramsey. I love it. He said, like, a budget is telling our money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So we're committing to creating and refining a plan for our money. And we also, in this stage of financial stability, we're beginning to adopt a routine savings habit. This includes 10 to 20% of everything we make, we save it. The quickest way to double our money is to fold it in half and put it in our pocket. There's so many good quotes that really emphasize the importance of routinely saving a portion of everything we make. This is the most advised healthy money habit that I've seen. And it's true. For me personally, it's one of the best financial moves I've done. I set up an automatic transfer from my checking account to my investment account of 15% of, I just kind of average, what do I make in a month? Or yeah, like total gross, what money flows to me every month. And at 15% of that, I have just automatically going into my investment account. I rarely notice it or remember that it happens. And I just recently checked, over the last 6 years, that 15% that I've routinely saved has doubled. Yep, and that's just 6 years. The longer that sits there, the more that compounds, and we can explore that later if we want. Like the eighth wonder of the world, as Albert Einstein says, is compound interest. It's so true. It's mind-boggling. So the key here is just patience. Study after study has shown that market timing, trying to time the stock, it doesn't work. It's time in the market is the way to go, which is great because it's a lot less work. It's just a lot more patience and trusting the process. Less greed, more patience. That's what, so it's beautiful. It's so simple. It's just like set it, forget it, create the simple routine that saves 15%, and a world of financial opportunity opens up. And perhaps the biggest benefit to this for me, biggest benefit of having like a rainy day fund, a savings account, is that it just eliminates so much financial stress. Just knowing that like when a financial emergency happens, I'm prepared to handle it. There's no like, oh no, what if the thing happens? And it's okay. I've got money saved up. And when I need to use it, I just prioritize saving that back up. So the action steps to move beyond the stability now and move into financial security is to begin increasing the amount that we save so that we have 3 to 6 months living expenses saved up in our emergency account. And we're committed to continuing to grow more in our financial literacy. And we're beginning to invest, because once we have that 3 to 6 months of savings saved up, that money that we were using to put into our savings account for a rainy day fund, we can now put that into safe, reliable ways that allow our money to begin compounding over time. So this is stage 4. This is security. When we have financial security, we have that emergency fund of 6 to 3 months of living expenses. We're prepared for the natural ebb and flow of financial waves. We can begin to let our money work for us with a simple investing strategy that's available to everyone. Honestly, it's just like your most traditional diversified index fund, mutual fund. They make on average 12 to 15%, and it's available to anyone. So the financial behaviors when we're living in financial security include always having a clear understanding of our budget. We know how our money flows in and how it flows out. We have a routine practice of paying ourselves first by actively saving money before it goes anywhere else. We give it to ourselves first before it flows out of our hands. We pay ourselves a percentage of that, 10 to 20%. And once we have that emergency fund, we take that amount of money that we're routinely saving and we begin investing that into diversified long-term strategies. Okay, so the action steps to move from financial security into our final stage of financial freedom. We're committing to the long-term progress of regular investing and continue to develop our financial literacy so that we can just be a better steward of our money, of our investments. This is just the zenith of money. It's just the stage where we have enough money saved up and enough invested to support our desired lifestyle without relying on regular employment. The patterns and behaviors are just preserving the wealth that we've patiently created. No need to take on risky investments. We can just play it safe and continue to play the long game. The stats from Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University show that people go from the stage one of dependence, of being in a lot of debt, often, to the stage of financial freedom. They go through this journey in about 10.5 years, so a decade on average, if they stick to the plan. It's pretty incredible. And he's had thousands of people move through that, so they have a lot of good data there that support. So that's encouraging, just to see, like, all right, commit to this simple plan, be serious about it, eat beans and rice if I need to get out of debt and begin saving so that I can begin investing, and then just be patient. That's about a decade to move through that. And worth mentioning, the goal here ultimately isn't more money. The goal is just living life on our own terms, so that we can just enjoy living, giving abundantly, not being stressed about money, using money as a tool to nurture those intentions that we explored, of freedom, of health, of making an impact, of supporting the creations of the more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible. So there it is. That is the heroic financial journey: dependence, survival, stability, security, and freedom. Rock and roll. There might be some questions, thoughts, reflections. So from here, I'd just love to open it up. Feel free to popcorn around if your microphone is working, or use the chat. And again, wherever you are on your financial journey is perfectly okay. There is no shame, just compassion, just curiosity into where we are, and what we can do moving forward to be financially free. Jennifer with her hand raised, what is cooking?
Okay, so y'all know I was making coffee and blah blah blah. So 15% goes into investment budget. These are some highlights I wrote down. And then I just missed, right before the financial freedom stage is the what stage?
Stability. Nope. Financial freedom is security.
Okay, you said something about paying yourself 15%. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other part goes to living, and the other 15% goes to investment.
Yeah, the pay yourself first. That's just like a fancy way to say save that money. So if you already have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved, that 15% no longer needs to go into the saving. It might as well go into an investment account, which will accrue more interest than your savings account.
Okay, so 15% goes into the savings account.
Yep, until you have that financial cushion
of 3 to 6 months
of living expenses. Correct. That way, when you get laid off, when you have a disaster, it's chill. We've got time. We've got money saved. We don't have to go into debt.
Gotcha. So it would be silly to like keep putting that cushion into that 3 to 6 month saving account, because it could be going into investments or your free spending.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. Marva asks, does it depend on where you start? You are at the stability stage. Will it take 10 years? No, you're already moving through. You're already that much further along. So more power to you. Well, cool. We've got about 15 minutes. If you guys are open, I could just lead us through a sweet meditative reflection to just kind of bring it home, bring it inwards so we can take it outwards. Oh, Jen, you got another hand? Or was that a previous hand? Previous hand. Cool. Yeah, we didn't get to do a quick little drop in at the beginning of the call. So let's just take a minute to drop into ourselves, take a sweet little moment to marinate in this financial download that we explored. Short little reflection, maybe just taking a moment to adjust your posture, relaxing into an alert body. You can close the eyes if, oh, Jen, what's cooking?
Yeah, sorry. We've got
That's
15
okay.
minutes.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. Um, I have more questions.
Yes.
Sorry. Like, 'cause
Love it.
you know me. I love this topic. And hey, whoever's listening out there, just even beyond us here, like, no, this is a journey. I remember being scared to even talk about this stuff because I was so embarrassed that I didn't even know like how to invest money or budget and all that stuff. Okay. But truth be told, I'm not so, let me see. I have opportunity in budgeting. I'm definitely not in debt. I'm more financially free than people I know, but I still want more cushion. What are some tips for budgeting? Like, I've got the spreadsheet, I've got the QuickBooks. I don't really know how to use the QuickBooks very well, but maybe I take a tutorial in QuickBooks. I guess I'm answering my own question. But yeah, what are some hot tips for budgeting? Like, do you use a spreadsheet? What do you do?
Mhm, 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 mhm. One of the most powerful things that I've done that a lot of people recommend that is kind of tedious but very revealing is literally walking around with your own little money notebook and tracking every single expense and income. So every single time you spend money, whether it's online or at the grocery store, you take a moment to write it down. And that really also just gives you an opportunity to reflect on that purchase and be like, okay, is this like a frivolous thing? Is this, where are my priorities? Our money really shows us where our priorities are. So that is like a really good way to just start to get a grip on where the money goes. Doing that for a month is super powerful. And then I personally have a spreadsheet where I go through my expenses maybe like twice a month and just review every single transaction on my credit card, on all my accounts. I just go through them, make sure there's no sort of fraud thing. I just caught a fraud thing yesterday. Nope,
Oh my
not
God.
having that. But I just go through, and then based on that, I have a simple spreadsheet that I use that just shows me how much money I'm spending, how much money I'm making, and then with that spreadsheet, it shows me how much I have left over, or if I need to adjust some things so that I'm living within my means. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, I do the spreadsheet, because I have my own business.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't do it for like my personal expenses. So that would be super good. And speaking of the spreadsheet for the biz, I'm like, what, like I'm, subscribed to a bunch of stuff because, 2023, our assistants are now like MailChimp and Discord. And I'm
Yeah.
like, do I really need, I mean, MailChimp, yes, but I'm like, do I, really assessing like, what do I really need here? Like, this is, $10 a month, $30 a month, 100 or more, it's like
Oh yeah.
running your own business is a lot. Or
Yeah.
it can be. But so anyway, I'm wanting to get more clear as to like, yeah, what my priorities are for myself. Although I think I've got pretty good priorities for myself, and yet like I don't know, maybe there could be maybe there could be some tightening.
Yeah, I mean, especially as you go through your personal budgeting, that'll really highlight some priorities. That's one reason I actually love doing my taxes. Every year I'm just like, where were my values? What was I spending money on? What's going on in my money world? Because that really is like a good indicator of all that. And
I know where my priorities are though. It's good food and good health and travel.
nice.
That's it. But
Great.
it'd be nice to go see the Cirque du Soleil. Maybe I don't buy the fanciest food all the time. By food, I mean
Sure.
like, at the grocery store. I'm cooking my meals. But anyway,
Nice.
okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Marva says, knowing where your money is going is an eye-opening experience. Yeah, I always feel like I know, but then when I actually take the time to look, I'm just like, oh, what? Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, when did I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, I know where my money goes basically. And I have a chart that I use when I pay my bills that I actually check off every month what I've paid, when I paid it, and how much I paid on it. So that has helped me a lot. Otherwise, I was just paying my bills, like not paying attention.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
so I'd miss one. Or, and then you got that great little thing that they like to tack on at the end of that, that little fee that they like to charge you for not paying your bill exactly on time.
Yeah.
That's helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's the other beautiful thing about a practice of just reviewing the finances is just staying on top of those things, not getting those fines unnecessarily. And yeah, it's trimming the budget. All right, let's drop it in. Joyful Jedis of Moolah. Yeah, just taking a moment, checking in with the body. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you connect more deeply with yourself. Let's just take a nice deep breath in together, feeling the richness of this fresh air. And on the exhale, just releasing any sort of limiting beliefs, judgments, or money-related mishaps that are just kind of sticky around in there. Just creating a bit more spaciousness. Yeah, getting cozy, getting your blankets if you need them. Just remembering that this journey of money is it's just that. It's just about the journey, just about the joyous journey. The freedom that we're after is always present. That true wealth of freedom. It's just it's just the endless striving to learn, to grow, and become. There's no real destination. It's all just a yummy journey. So let's just take a moment to visualize our financial journey. Let's use our imagination and drop into a forest. Let's imagine our financial journey as a pathway through a forest. Maybe there are patches that might be dense and tricky. Maybe there's some paths that are smooth and sunlit. Let's just visualize ourselves walking, progressing step by step, feeling the earth beneath our feet, embracing each step as a lesson, an action, a decision that aligns us with our values and our vision. Noticing the trees around us. These trees represent our community, our mentors, the books, the resources that support and guide us. We are never alone. We are loved. We are supported. We are guided. Perhaps bringing to mind a symbol or an object that represents where we currently stand on our path to financial freedom. Maybe it's a budding flower, a sturdy oak, a flowing river. Just noticing and appreciating its details, its textures, its essence. Let's take another deep breath in together, holding at the top of the inhale. And just releasing that. And in this quiet moment, asking our intuitive self, what is one actionable step that resonates most deeply with me right now? What is one playful pivot that we can make to sprinkle some money magic on our path? Breathing in gratitude for this insight. And as we exhale, we can start to come back to our body, back to the room, back to this call together. When you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. And if you feel so inclined, feel free to share a symbol or any sort of revelation or step you're excited to take with the group.
Well, I had two things very clearly come through. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The first was to celebrate how far I've come on this journey from overdraft fees in my early 20s in college. Y'all know probably what I'm talking about. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that is a shocker. Like, wait, what? Anyway, okay, we'll stay out of that. Celebrate. Celebrate how far I've come. And not just how far I've come, but celebrate where my curiosity is. Truly, like, my intrigue, my, like, where I'm at now. And what really came through is my heart is really open. And that felt really good to celebrate that, I'm not necessarily, no, I'm not scared about this stuff. I'm like excited about it more and more. And, that feels empowering. So to keep celebrating, like, yay. And then the other word that really came through is commit. Matthew knows, but I have coined my Mondays as Money Mondays and Fridays as Financial Fridays. But here's the thing, y'all. When Monday would hit and I'd be like rejuvenating my energy from the weekend because it's an admin day for me, I'd be like, oh, I'll get it on Financial Friday. And then Financial Friday would come around and I'd be all like stoked about the weekend. And I'd be like, I'll just like look at my bank account really quick and that would be good, you know, and because money loves to be looked at. And I would like look, but I wouldn't, you know, carve out the time to do the budgeting and things like that. So like I gotta commit. And I liked how you said bi-monthly, or you said twice a month. That might be a little more realistic, but even just to like keep Money Mondays and Financial Fridays is something like, okay, I'm gonna look at this, but then on Friday, I'm gonna budget or like commit to putting it in my calendar would be good, you know, like commit, like celebrate, make it, you know, get the neural pathways on board of like, this is really fun, you guys, you
Yeah.
know, and then now commit to going to the party and like light a candle, make it super sexy if I want to, you know, commit to like having a date, like treat my money relationship like I would with a lover. You know, like, wow, I'm so lucky and wow, my money is so lucky, like we're so lucky together.
Mm,
So anyway, that's what kind of came through. Like commit, like make a commitment for consistency.
yeah. I love that. I love that. I'm reading your comment here too. I love your interest in learning QuickBooks so you can have a better grip on that tool to see the ins and outs of your money. Yeah, that's one reason I think why I continue to do my own taxes. It's like, yeah, I could just pay a few $100 to have someone just do it, but it's like I want to know. I want to know what's going on and also take advantage of the various tax benefits that are out there if I know about them and how to use them. So yeah, I love that. I love your commitment to your Money Mondays, Financial Fridays. I have
Yeah,
adopted that every Monday that comes around. I'm just like, all right, Money Monday, let's do
I
it.
know it's been fun to like do that together, like Money Monday. What
Yeah.
I just realized too is like just you just kind of planted the seed of okay, when I put it in my calendar, I don't just put Financial Fridays in. I put Financial Fridays, look like watch the tutorial in QuickBooks, like make an actual plan. Like Marva just said, good plan. It's like how can I
Mm,
get specific, like as if I'm, you know, leading a group program, like I have a
yeah.
plan, you know, I'm not just like, cool, Money Mondays, you know, like, no, like, what are we doing today? I think would be, yeah. Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Like what's the next best step? If I just could do one thing on Money Monday today, what's that one thing that would just yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And then in the
That's
celebrate, maybe I take out like, you know, 100 ones or something. And like, maybe I like have a party with 100 ones one day. I don't know. Ones are kind of gross. Maybe I wash them first, but okay. Anyway, you guys hear what I'm saying. I'll let somebody else share. Celebrate.
Oh man. Well, I know what came to me is like you said, celebrate where you're at now. My financial situations throughout my many lifetimes. Several things come to mind. Always having the feeling place of money being something you had to fight for or strive for, not having the thought that money just comes to me because really that's the reality that I had to work super hard, break my dang back because somebody told me that was the way you did it. Like you said, you didn't have money, so you had to go figure out how to get money when you were young. I did too. I ironed clothes for the neighbors. I walked their dogs to buy a pair of jeans because my mom made my clothes, quite a bit of them. I mean, we got clothes, but she made a lot of stuff for me. Um, so, and it's how fun do you make it? How you get your money. I wish I would have known that when I was younger, because it probably would have changed my perspective of how I was spending it as well as how I was earning it.
Hmm.
But the tools I had were the tools I had at the time. So I'm celebrating where I'm at now, because Todd is very much that person who does put the money away. He does, you know, plan every penny. His bank account, he must do that twice a week. Go through his checkbook and balance it to the penny. I never did that. Not really. I would round up usually so that I actually had money in there that I didn't sort of know about as my cushion. I don't know. But celebrate did come to mind.
Mm.
Celebrate where I am now, because it's a totally different world for me
Mm.
right now.
Yeah, live and learn. I love
Yeah.
it. We don't know till we know. The first time I was introduced to a budget was in senior year of high school. In our
Me too.
English class, we had an assignment that we got to present anything we wanted to the class. And one gal was like, I'm gonna teach you guys what a budget is. And we were like, what? And we were almost graduated from high school and none of us knew what a budget was. That's sad. That's so sad. Like, come on. This is
Yep, I
essential.
think, yep.
Anyway, yeah.
Just to know
I
where
feel
your money's going, just to know how you're doing it, if you're doing it, what happened if you're not doing it, just to
Mhm.
know that, where did it go? It's not rocket science. It seriously isn't. It's
Yeah,
fundamental, you know, fundamental stuff.
fundamental stuff. Uh-huh. Marva says, I have to break through the belief that I always have what I need and would like more. And you've got a couple actions. Yeah, wait, I just want to let that land. Break through the belief that I have what I need. I would like. I love that. Yeah. All right, and then you say, I got a couple actions that I can take, but like what Jen said, I have to commit. I am in celebration mode as well. My symbol is a phoenix. Yep, Jen too. This is sweet. I think we're all in a very similar place of celebrating, and we've got some inspo on moving forward. So thank you, God. Oh, Jen, you got a little hand there.
Quick
Yeah.
you, this was great and I want more of it. Are we gonna be doing more of these workshops um on money, or is like this the one? Are we gonna do another one?
I think we'll do 2 more.
Oh, great. Okay, you hear that, everybody? Great.
Yep, because the way that the 30 days of money journey has broken down, there's like 4 distinct sections that kind of like, as I've kind of just like been creating it, I'm just like, oh yeah, this kind of goes with that, this goes with that. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's kind of like, 4 different sections. So I would like to do 2 more. And so coming up. Thanks for getting curious with money with me. This is
Yes,
it's
thank
been a game
you.
changer for me to explore. This is like been so reassuring and alleviating of my concerns of money and am I doing it right and like what's the best steps. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, hold the vision, trust the process. It's all right here. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for diving
Thank
in,
you.
showing up, sharing yourselves, for shining, sharing. Marva,
Love to you all. I gotta go
still
buy
miss.
a refrigerator.
All right. There's a
Great
financial
investment.
You know, that cushion.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Love y'all.
Love
Love
you.
y'all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Peace, man.
Matthew.
Bye bye.
Mwah.